So I'm starting work on the riser piece for our bamboo back and belly bow, and I have really kind of taken to how well Ipe finishes in a grip, and so I want to incorporate Ipe into this build. In addition to that, Ipe is an incredibly dense wood, and so I'm going to choose for this build. I'm going to do Ipe and then hickory, both very dense woods. Kind of the intent with that is to concentrate the mass of this bow at the grip, and we will keep the limbs real light. So the core piece of this build right here is red oak. The core piece is almost inconsequential. It's really just there to provide a taper in the instance of this particular build. But here it is. I got a piece of Ipe and a piece of hickory. So when we go to put this together, and you'll see that the width on this, let's see here, I gotta find my, sorry about that guys, gotta get my template out. And so here's the template on the piece of hickory. But what I'm looking to do is really highlight the Ipe, and I don't want to just dump a bunch of Ipe into the bow. I've got extra hickory laying around, so I've got a lot of this, not as much of this. And so what I've done is I ripped the Ipe in half, and this is going to be the riser setup. So we'll have Ipe on either side of a hickory core, more or less. And when we go to glue this up on the edge of the bow, all we're going to see is the Ipe, because the bamboo is going to rise all the way up on the fades here and also continue across the belly. So the only place we're going to see any hickory is going to be right along this strip on the back of the grip. Similar to the way this bow went together, and you can see how I had Padauk sandwiched around some hackberry here. So there's hackberry in the center. So when you cut out that window, you're able to see the hackberry. Now this particular build, I don't think I'm going to put a window on this build. I am getting kind of interested in trying to attempt working on a thumb release, and so I'm going to make this bow just a dead center grip. I'm going to just going to narrow the neck of the grip really well, such that I can shoot off of either side. So ambidextrous, more or less, and just see how well this works. So a couple things. I'm going to try and actually make it a slightly lighter weight bow, in the 40-ish range. If I end up a little under or a little over, then so be it. But this is going to be my practice bow for trying to learn how to shoot with a thumb release. Anyway, there is the setup. So this will be glued. This is going to be one instance where I do go ahead and use like a tight bond type of glue. I'm okay with a carpenter's glue. In this scenario, all of the glue lines are going to be concealed within the laminations of the remainder of the bow, so we don't really have to worry about being waterproof or anything like that. But this is the extent of it. I'm going to go ahead and get it glued up, and then we'll go through the process of actually tracing out the pattern and building our riser for the bow. So hang in there and we'll go through that process next. So I've got everything cut out to shape, and I have been sanding this a bit to get down to the line here, you guys, and you can kind of see the white pencil line. The goal here is to get this to match up with our mold as closely as possible. So the idea is to eliminate any kind of gaps in here. And so you can see we're gapping a bit at the end here. Not so much on this one. Maybe if we scooch it just a bit to center, which is like right there. We're better here, and we're a lot better there too. Little off down here, but in fact this should end a little earlier up in here, but we'll take out a little bit of the belly here to kind of get this to lay down flat, and then we'll have that front face done. The front face being the far more important. After the front face, the importance here is just our feathered end, so that we can get a good glue transition there. So here we are, about, I don't know, halfway ground through this. We'll do just a little more on this edge, and then we'll take care of the fades, and I'll show you when we're done with that. So here we are, all ground down on all edges. So you can see that we are pretty much within tolerance here on the belly. If we were making, or on the back rather, if we were making a fiberglass laminated bow, we'd need to get just a little bit closer here. There's a little bit of a gap, but with bamboo, like I said, we're dealing with nodes and undulations that we're not going to be able to control on that back as well as the belly. So this is going to be plenty close enough. And then we are tapered out to feathered edges here on our ends, so that we can expect a good glue line right here. One little issue that I'm going to have to be paying attention to is my wood split just a bit right at a very critical spot. So hopefully when I get everything glued up, it'll mend that little issue right there. But nevertheless, I'm going to move forward, and from here the glue up pretty much commences. So we've got all of our parts in order. This was the last bits and pieces that needed to be done. We will move forward from here, and in the next episode we'll glue everything together. So be sure to stand by for that one. If you like and subscribe, you'll get a notification when that video comes out, so that you're not waiting too long or having to look for it. It'll let you know. So thanks guys for hanging out with me for this section of our build, and I will see you next time around.